name's Sarah. Thanks for joining me today. Today I am making a video about my 5 handmade essentials. So this is a YouTube hashtag that was created by Sarah at Naughty Gnome Crafts, where she asks YouTubers to make videos detailing their 5 handmade essential garments. There is a list of prompts to go through, which I've got here. So that is the essential top, the essential bottoms, the essential one piece, the essential layering piece, and essential wildcard. So I'm going to go through my choices in a second. I'd like to thank Amelia at So Amelia for tagging me in this. I'm not going to tag individual makers, only because I can never choose. I can never work out who's been tagged already and who hasn't. And also, with some of these things, I feel like I like the idea of them, but then if I don't get tagged, sometimes I feel a bit bad. I don't want to make anyone else feel bad. So I am not going to tag you, but if you are here on YouTube and you want to make a video of your 5 handmade essentials, please make one. This is your invitation from me to you to make your own video. So I'm going to start with my essential top. I struggled with this a bit actually because I make a lot of dresses. I haven't made loads of tops, and of the tops I've made, there are only a few that I've made multiple times. So it came down to 2. The runner-up was the Helen's Closet Gilbert shirt, which I've made a few times. I always make it in the same silhouette. I make it with the tie waist and the short sleeves, and I use it either as its own thing to wear with shorts or culottes or a skirt, or I'll put it over a dress in the summer as a bit of a cover-up so I don't get burnt. But the winner was the Friday Pattern Company Adrienne top. Now, I've made this a few times. The reason I picked this one is because it is so quick to sew. Like, so quick to sew, but it looks really, really good. And it's very versatile. It's for stretch jersey fabrics, and it's just a really simple bodice with you just hem it at the top, just very, very simple, and then you have these big voluminous sleeves with an elasticated cuff. You can make it in cotton jersey, you can make it in whatever. I made one in stretch velvet, which I really loved at last Christmas, and it's got a good size range. I think it's the full size range for Friday Pattern Company, so up to a 7X. And it's honestly just the speediest make, but the sleeves look awesome. I'll put a picture of the most recent one I made up here. And doing this actually reminded me that I should probably make another 1 or 2 of those for the summer. So that is my essential top. My essential bottom is the True Bias Hudson pants. Now, these have been super popular everywhere, and it took me a while to sew them because fitting trousers on curvier bodies can be tricky, and I was just putting it off because I thought I can't be bothered to work out how to adjust the rise properly and things like that. But eventually I made my first pair and I was obsessed. The fit was really good off the bat. I made no adjustments. I'm now on, I think, my 3rd or 4th pair. The reason I like them, so they are just jogging bottoms, but depending on the fabric you choose, you could make them so as long as it's a stretch fabric, I mean, I'm sure you could make a sort of a posher, like, you know, there was that trend for wearing things that looked like luxe pajamas. I reckon you could do an elevated version like that, but you could also just do normal trackies. I've made several pairs of pajamas with them. They have a shorter length option as well, so you can have them as a calf band, which might be something I do for the summer. And just generally, again, a really, it's a very staple make and silhouette, but it has enough little features. There are options to have contrast bands on the pockets. The waist is just finished really nicely. It just is like elevated above your most simple tracksuit trouser make. And the drafting is really great. So that is my essential for the bottoms. Picking a dress was a bit trickier because I make a lot of dresses and there are a few dress patterns that I make repeatedly. But I ended up settling on the Tilly and the Buttons Lyra. I'm wearing one right now. This is one of my most made patterns, I would say. The Tamsin dress is another one, but from By Hand London. I picked this one because I think it's really versatile. I have made versions of this in like a viscose for work. I have made versions of this in like a cotton gingham or a nice cotton shirting, like very much a summery dress. I have made my recent organza version, which was really, really dressy, and you could easily make it in a sort of velvet or a satin, or do you know what I mean? You could easily dress it up. And that is one of the best things about this pattern. I think I have a version that I could wear for any occasion, pretty much. That's partly because a shirt dress silhouette anyway is versatile. It's also, you've got the option of sleeves. So these short sleeves are obviously much more daytime, summer. The fuller cuffed sleeves are much better for sort of workwear and later in the year and more dressy outfits, I would say. So yeah, the Tilly and the Buttons Lyra is my number one piece. Excuse me. Then for layering, I struggled as well because a lot of the layering pieces I make, I'll make them once. And then I feel like that part of my wardrobe is covered. So I had a think, and this may be a little bit rogue. I decided that the best one in terms of being an essential is the Paper Cut Patterns Nova Coat. And I say this because if you're going to make a coat, it's a really good staple one for your wardrobe. The one I made is the coat that I wear the most when it's cold enough to wear a coat. Again, it's quite versatile. It's really, really simple. It doesn't have any fixtures or fastenings. And generally, it's just a really good pattern. You can have lots of fun with the lining. Fits super easy. It's got that nice sort of almost the way the pockets are constructed and the way that it's pieced together, it gives it this slight like origami look on the back and the front where the pockets are. So just a really good pattern. Excuse me. One that I actually haven't made yet. So this is really rogue putting this in here, but hear me out, is the Sew Over It Sorrento jacket, which is a classic denim jacket. This is on my list to make this summer and has been on my list to make for a couple of years now. Ever since the, what's it called, the Summer Dreaming ebook was released by Sew Over It. And I haven't done it because there are technical aspects of it which are quite difficult. But I do think once I have it made, that will really serve as a staple in my wardrobe. As I think for lots of people it would. I think a denim jacket is very versatile over the spring, summer and early autumn sort of months. So I'm putting that in. I haven't made it yet, but I've seen enough versions. I have everything I need to make it. So that was my other option for the layering piece. And then you have the Wildcard. So this can be anything. So I could repeat one of the options we've already had, or I could pick something that hasn't been covered by those. And because I'm obsessed with bag making at the moment, I decided to go for the Noodlehead range backpack. So I made this recently. I only made my first bag a couple of months ago and I loved it. Again, put off making it for ages because there are little bits of faff that just go into the preparation. I made a different Noodlehead bag, which was the Redwood tote bag, which is also a great little bag. But the backpack I use more. And again, I think it's a really good staple for your wardrobe. There are lots of new skills you'll learn along the way of constructing it. But the Noodlehead instructions are so clear. I'm boring everyone with how much I go on about them, but even I buy all my bag making sort of notions and stuff from Jenny Stitches, and I'm currently making another tote bag as a gift for somebody else. And on the little card that Jenny sends with all her orders, she was like, "You've got the bag making bug," because I keep just ordering bag making supplies. But it's really fun to make the bags, and I would say that if you're going to make one bag, the range backpack is the one. If you watched Sewing Bee the other week, they were making backpacks. It's not quite the same pattern, but it's very similar. It has that sort of fold over tie up front. There's a nice zip pocket. It's just a really good bag, and it's managed to carry around all of my heavy music books for the last couple of weeks. So it's also fit for purpose. So anyway, that's my list. So to just go over them: Friday Pattern Company, Adrienne Blouse, the True Bias Hudson's, the Tilly and the Button Lyra dress, the Paper Cut Patterns Nova / Sew Over It Sorrento Jacket as my layering pieces, and then the Noodlehead range backpack for my Wildcard. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that's given you a bit of inspiration. It was quite good to think about it, actually, wasn't it? What are the real workhorses in my wardrobe? So maybe you'll have a think too. As I said, I'm not going to tag specifics because I just get in my head about it. But if you have 5 essential items and you would like to share them, all you have to do is make your own video. You have to name an essential top, an essential bottom, an essential one piece, an essential layering piece, and an essential wildcard. You can tag up to 5 other makers if you wish to do so, and use the hashtag, which is a hashtag and then 5 handmade essentials, the number 5, and then handmade essentials. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. All right, bye.